with Nahaja Black is sponsored by the Cancer Treatment Centers of America and Burger King.
With Nahaja Black, it's a hit back. With Nahaja Black.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome to the Hit Back. I'm your host, Nahaja Black. It is a beautiful day in the 242. I hope that you are doing well, taking care of yourself, and living your best life today. It's Tuesday, y'all. Special thanks to my great guest host yesterday, DJ counselor Corey L. Nathan Roll. So special thanks to Pastor Roll yesterday filling in. It was great reviews on that. It's been an interesting weekend. It's been an interesting past few days. Of course, a lot has happened and transpired. School is reopened to its own levels of issues and excitement. Of course, over the weekend, it was the tragedy, not over the weekend, but the tragedy of a young lady losing her life, another one to domestic violence, another senseless murder. Senseless, and all murders to me seem senseless, but this common theme in a country that has proliferated for a long time, but now has seemingly reached this level, this tipping point, that either we will succumb to these things as the norm, we will pay lip service, or there will be change. And it's sad that there must be lives to foster conversation. There must be Bellas. There must be the other young lady, of course, brutally attacked by a vehicle. There must be this story here, another of a member of the armed forces or of the public service in the middle of the road doing certain levels of violence. Even in our policing, seeing images that seemed a little too violent for our taste. There has to be more than just the lip service. And we will discuss that more in this show. But today's show is multifaceted, and so I'm not going to waste time. Time is not to be wasted when you have such a multifaceted show as we have today. Because today I want to discuss, and I really am so happy to have this guest. I was telling him before he came on that he has no idea the amount of work and the amount of calls and the amount of begging and pleading. And finally, I got him, and he is a guest on the show. Why is this important? If you listen to the Hit Back, you understand how important the moving in different directions, the forward progress of the economy, exciting young people, changing the things that we used to do, or diversifying the portfolio of the Bahamas, right? Because of course, one egg in the basket, you run the risk of losing it all. But we have always known to be built on this fiscal pillar called tourism. However, what if we are now finding ourselves on the precipice of something great? And are we ready? And that's so if we are finding ourselves on the precipice of something great, then are we ready to capture and to live in and to multiply this moment, to make it bigger than a mistake? Because sometimes you can just have dumb luck. Or other times it can be some sort of intentional planning, and you can propel yourself. So why is this important today? I got a special guest running on now. You can tell I missed y'all yesterday because I running on a lot. Special guest joining me, representing, and he's the VP, young, brilliant Bahamian man, VP of Communications and, the rest of the title, Corporate Social. So wait, hold on. I have the rest of it. You know what? This is why I should always be prepared. I don't have to do this. Corporate Social Responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome special guest to the show, none other than Mr. Valdez K. Russell from FTX Digital Markets. Valdez, welcome to the show.
Nahaja, thank you so very much for your patience, first of all. And then secondly, the kindness of an invitation that after I got the call, I had to jump in and participate. So thank you so very much. And I'm looking forward to an exciting exchange and a conversation that Bahamians deserve.
Yes, and thank you so much. Listen, thank you again for saying yes, because you can get a call, and then you can act like you got that call a little late, and before you know it, we're like in year 2024. Jesus, I
Yes,
forgot to
yes,
call you back.
yes,
But so
yes,
thank
yes,
you
yes.
so much,
Yes.
Valdez, and I hope you don't mind if I call you Valdez.
Please do. That's my
Thank you.
good name.
It's a good Christian name to it. Good godly name. That's
Yeah,
what you know.
yeah.
Why I'm excited to have you on the show is you represent a very exciting company, and not a new company in any sense of the word, but exciting for where we are in the world today, right? And where we are in the world today is, of course, cryptocurrency, crypto exchanges, the whole idea of digital assets, not being new, but really a newer vernacular. And the world is a buzz. And now we have, I think, FTX, if I'm not mistaken, is the second largest crypto exchange in the
Correct.
world
Yes, we are.
that has moved from a major um, corporate center such as Hong Kong
Yeah.
and has decided that the Bahamas was the place to which it wishes to hold its headquarters. That is not a small deal.
It is. It is not. It is extraordinary,
Mhm.
and to be candid, that decision was perhaps an easier one because of what we will call and capture Bahamian excellence. When we have people like Christina Roll with the Securities Commission of the Bahamas as the regulator, drafting and delivering policies that transform the trajectory of the Bahamas, that's the starting ground of how we got here. The
Yes.
brilliance of Alison Maynard Gibson, the incredible fortitude and persistence of individuals who worked quietly yet decisively to help us to be here. It's nothing short of amazing and extraordinary for us to now be in the Bahamas. And as a Bahamian, I am beyond elated that of the 21 countries that went on the board, in the top 4 choices, the Bahamas rose to the top
So
in
we
COVID.
so we went to Miss Universe, and we came back 10th one day and first the other. This is powerful stuff, I'm telling you. So,
Yeah,
but what you're saying here, Valdez, is that it is our positioning and FTX being here is not a matter of a mistake, but very much by an intentional design behind the scenes. Explain to us a bit of what was so appealing about our crypto or our cryptocurrency or digital assets legislation that motivated FTX to make us home.
few countries in the world have the kind of legislation that has been drafted by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas, the SCB. And so, what we have in the DARE Act, DARE, is legislation that allows exchanges to be regulated. Our founder, Sam Bankman Fried, wants our cryptocurrency environment, and also wants legislation that will allow for exchanges to be regulated. The Bahamas then afforded us that environment of a regulated jurisdiction. Tough questions are to be asked, in addition to having the access to talent and infrastructure was incredibly important. And so the destination in and of itself, our proximity, the infrastructure provided by Cable Bahamas, the access to talent, and the warmth of Bahamians willing to welcome something new, innovative, and exciting, all elevated our drive and commitment to be in the Bahamas.
Yeah, and this is what is so exciting to me and powerful when we have these discussions here. If you're just tuning in, Valdez Russell, VP of Communications for FTX Digital Markets, joining us on the show. And, what is so exciting about this is that we have, and I think for us, many of us, including myself, I was unaware of certain legislation that was happening in the background, right? But then we wake up and we hear this groundbreaking announcement. FTX is deciding now, because we know there's a few of us in the country that are all into this crypto exchange. And to a lot of my groups who are listening, who are crypto fanatics, they're very much attentively tuning in, that this was a major move for us and it signals something. But very recently, major Bahamian entrepreneur, investor, Mr. Mario Carey, real estate. I wonder if he would want me to say tycoon. Maybe that's a little much for, he's, we feign humility in the Bahamas. So real estate mogul, let's go with that,
Yes.
has shared, without any equivocation, that he believes FTX being here is a transcendent point, that it can be that not just a tremor, but it is that earthquake. It is that total shifting if we would allow it to do the shifting. As someone who works, you are FTX at this point now, Valdez. You're a Bahamian and you represent FTX. You understand the nuances of this company to a certain degree. How do you see FTX reshaping or creating a new landscape for us in terms of economics, diversifying our country's outlook to the world?
Imagine a Bahamas where FTX can account for 10% of the GDP just in a short window of time. Just imagine that for a short period. Imagine a Bahamas that is now the cryptocurrency capital of the world, not the region, the world. Imagine a Bahamas where young, talented Bahamians who leave to go off to school come back home knowing that they have a seat at the table. This is what FTX will do. And along the way, we will transform lives to ensure that Bahamians have access to opportunities, that Bahamians are afforded a better quality of life, and that we operate in a transparent and also regulated environment that affirms this is the best of the world just off the US shores. That is how I see, that is how we talk about around the office, the impact, the influence of FTX within the Bahamas. We recognize that there is a mindset shift that will come along when we talk about derivatives, when we talk about tokenization, when we talk about all of these elements that help people to appreciate what it means when the market is crashing and then soaring. We recognize there's a level of education that comes along with that. And our teams all around the world who visit the Bahamas frequently to see our space and to ignite good ideas with the Bahamians who are here are committed to doing our part for Bahamians and the world to see that FTX belongs in the Bahamas. FTX will always be here as we appreciate now, and we will be a vital part of our economic growth, and we will touch the lives of every Bahamian in one way or another.
Boy, Valdez, you're hitting those notes. It's like a good, nice song. It's like a really good romantic song there, right?
I brought my hymn book.
I know, I know you're not reading from it, but you're hitting all of the right notes, right? Because you use words like forever. We're hoping, FTX is now partnering with us, hoping to touch, Bahamians across the globe and education. So you're hitting notes for me that are important, right? Because of course now where we are as Bahamians, and you know what, I was going to hit this topic. Let's take a break. I just realized it's my break time now. We have to talk about this part about this education, of course. Now FTX is here. And how do we, as Bahamians, capitalize on this moment individually, right? The market, the education, all of this good stuff. I'm excited about this. I'm excited.
We're just getting started.
Oh, of course. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We will be back right after this.
This traffic report is brought to you by Shield Insurance and Prudential Law Adjusters.
Good afternoon. First look at traffic now. We see that 2020 Darling Highway, the west lane going into the roundabout there at Samala Buffer Highway is backed up. So as you approach that intersection, you'll have to hit the brakes and tow line to get through the roundabout ahead. That roundabout is extremely busy with, of course, the traffic that comes in on the west side from JFK, but also now the traffic already has started on the north side coming through the Sports Center, passing Millennium Gardens, also engaged in a bumper-to-bumper ride getting into that intersection. It's busy on Carmichael Road and getting through the Blue Hood Road light. In fact, the entire intersection of Blue Hood Road and Carmichael Road already busy this afternoon, and a similar look can be seen on East Street south of Soldier Road for the traffic that's moving about in the deep south. It's slow on the Zion Boulevard, East Street, and Charles Saunders Highway traffic light intersection. And already on the eastern end of that highway, getting into Steve Breeze Estates at the Beatrice Drive intersection, traffic lines have already begun. With a closer look within the city area, we can see that Prince Charles Drive is slow between Soldier Road and the Marathon Road intersection. Traffic is moving along Robinson Road is average for your afternoon flow, but once you hit the intersection of East Street and Robinson Road, you notice the corridors going into the roundabout begin to get very busy. Those dual lanes headed into the Independence roundabout, you can expect to slow down because of the heavy traffic coming off Independence Drive into that roundabout, and also for the traffic that's coming off East Smith's Highway into that same circle. While the other roundabout over on Blue Hill Road and Tony's Podium Darling, not as busy as yet. Typical afternoon flow is happening along Wolf Road, and the afternoon slow up has already begun on West Bay Street for the ride heading west. Not quite bumper to bumper, but slows the ride down along that route, getting into the roundabout there at Saunders Beach. This National Traffic Report is the service of Dr. Danny Johnson and Associates at Foot and Ankle International. Visit Foot and Ankle International for relief. They're located Deansley on the top of the hill at Fort Charlotte. Call them at 322-5402. With your Ryan Sky, look at traffic in real time. I'm VANN.
Michael was in a horrible car accident. Prudential Loss Adjusters managed his claim and got him the settlement he deserved. Sierra's roof received hurricane damage. Thanks to Prudential, she and her kids are happy with their claim settlement. Tammy fractured her ankle in a slip and fall. Prudential saved her time, money, and peace of mind. Prudential Loss Adjusters are here for you whenever a tragedy strikes. Call 322-4026 now.
Don't wait for disaster to strike. This hurricane season, be ready. Protect your home with an affordable and comprehensive home insurance policy from Shield Insurance. You can't control what nature blows your way, but with Shield Insurance, you can rest easy as you ride out the storm. Protect your largest and most valuable investment. Don't take a chance. Put your home in our hands.
Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau. Call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
When I got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number. They see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. It's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Burger King Nassau is taking spice to new heights with the new Baja Whopper and Baja Crispy Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy your choice of a flame-grilled Whopper or crispy chicken filet topped with chipotle sauce, guacamole, jalapenos, cheese, lettuce, tomato, all on a fresh potato bun. The new Baja sandwiches at Burger King Nassau pack plenty of flavor, and with an ice-cold Pepsi and fries or onion rings, it's the perfect way to fill your day. The Baja Whopper and Baja Crispy Chicken Sandwich are only available at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's a hit back with the hash of black. It's a hit back with the hash of black. It's a hit back with the
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Special, for a second, I forgot my name. Special guest joining us is none other than Mr. Valdez Russell. He is the VP of FTX Digital Markets, joining us on the show today, VP of Communications. And this is the best title ever, Corporate Social Responsibility. It is not a unique title. It's just that I keep forgetting after corporate, the responsibility. So I need to put the photo up there, Valdez. But thank you so much again for the time here joining us. So we're talking about the big move of FTX and its impact in the Bahamas. And we already have questions, but I want to ask you this. Obviously, one of the things that we know, cities, countries, they pay big money they cater, they give concessions, they loom and dance and show themselves off. I remember when certain places where Amazon was going to shift its space to, and other companies, mega, Fortune 500 companies, that there is a competition. And I want to stress this, that FTX choosing us is not a small deal, because mind you, they could easily have gone somewhere else and probably gotten some large or whatnot levels of concessions, but they chose us, and in particular because of some very smart bits of legislation or regulations that are going to propel the crypto market and keep it comfortable. Can you pinpoint for me, Valdez, two of the major points that matter most? Because I noticed in some of the conversations, by and large, it's not about taxes. It's not about running away from taxes. So what were the main points of interest?
Yeah, so the main point of interest was the legislation. And I can't stress it enough. The Digital Assets and Registered Exchanges Act of 2020 really allowed us to understand and appreciate that our environment was a great place. The Bahamas is a great place to regulate the issuance, the sale, and trade of digital assets in one form within the Bahamas, right? Yeah. So at the core, this was a good place to do business. There was legislation here that enabled, equipped, and empowered us to be in the Bahamas in such a way that we knew that we would want to comply, that we also knew that we would want to transform the landscape in such a way that we would be the cryptocurrency capital of the world. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. The second piece was access to talent. And I highlighted this earlier, but your question bears repeating. Mm-hmm. Bahamians are extraordinarily talented. Whether it is the warmth of our smile, our capacity to navigate what it means to be a settlements associate, our brilliance around compliance and knowing your customer, our commitment to ensuring that our delivery of responses and services can be executed by intelligent, the best and the brightest. Those two factors played a critical role in being able to confirm that the Bahamas was deserving of our headquarters. Sam visited the Bahamas he arrived on a Friday after we had done a bit of work. We hosted a reception on Saturday. He met with the Prime Minister on Monday, and on Monday morning, he indicated that based on his experiences, what is here in the Bahamas, he would be making this his home for FTX. And that story sounds simple, yes, but it rolled out just like that. It rolled out just like that. And I think that one of the things that people want to appreciate in crypto in the Bahamas is we move incredibly quickly. Mm-hmm. And so we have 1,000 pieces happening all at once. The hope is we ask for help, we get things done. And ever since he has indicated that, our colleagues from all around the world have chosen to visit the Bahamas, invest in the Bahamas, and appreciate more of what it means for FTX to call the Bahamas home. And it's absolutely extraordinary.
Do you see it? And you mentioned it, and there's so many questions I have, so I'm trying to work them in order in my mind because you hit on a lot of great points in that. Do you see it? You mentioned that we can become the Bahamas with foresight, the crypto capital of the world.
Yes.
Right. So we have that Silicon Valley sort of thing going around, and knowing and having an understanding that moving from Hong Kong was not a small deal, because of course Hong Kong had a lot of corporate centers, and they are challenged with some of their COVID rules that is affecting business, and a lot of companies are challenged that way. But I'm curious. I know that the world is they paid attention. If you type in FTX, FTX is a buzz with FTX and the Bahamas. The world is paying attention. Recently announced was the SALT, corporation or partnership together to create wonderful events for FTX, and in particular, the Crypto Bahamas.
And the first will start in the Bahamas. That's how serious we are about
very excited
reasserting the Bahamas on the map as a world-class leader.
So then that leads to me, how do you see it working out? How does FTX see? And you being a Bahamian, and I know you're sitting in these meetings, how do we see the Bahamas, based on what you're hearing, becoming that center? What will be the draw? Is it just the legislation? Are there other things that we need to do to pivot? What do you see makes us the draw?
So the first part that makes us a draw is a blue chip organization like FTX being in the Bahamas. The second piece is our founder, Sam Bankman-Fried. His enthusiasm, his vibrancy, and his commitment to the Bahamas has been demonstrated in his thoughts, words, and actions. I get to work with an incredible guy by the name of Ryan Salem. He serves as our CEO at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And each morning, one of the best questions that he asks throughout our interactions is, how are the Bahamians doing? How are the Bahamians feeling? And what that drives me to respond with is, they're good. They're good. They're learning. They're better than good. They're inundated with requests of other people wanting to join our team. And so those two elements of Sam and Ryan being enthused to be here, being genuine champions, really motivates our conversations in a direction that transcends the elements of all that we're doing, because we want to be here and we will do good being here as well. And my role in these meetings is to ensure that as we keep Bahamians at the forefront of our thoughts for legitimate causes and commitments that drive national development and place us on the map, we also take into account what is happening around the world and the impact that FTX can have on a better and brighter world future.
So then in the pivoting side of it, is there any infrastructural changes? Are there any things that you've seen that we might need to do? Because of course, I think of certain things, and that's why my excitement is in this, because I know that we're not perfect by any means, but that we have great opportunity to capture a market that seems already, like you said, with a blue chip company such as FTX, saying, yes, I want to be here. That this is a beacon, this is a clarion call. But are there any other structural or technical things that we can improve upon to make it even more appealing?
We have extraordinary infrastructure here in the Bahamas. We're working with our partners to improve and strengthen that, particularly as we get ready to build our $60 million facility out west. The element that I believe that we as Bahamians want to strengthen so that we shine, we have a greater responsibility to move with greater quickness to get things done. Yes, we have access to talent, but we also have a group of individuals who are competently lazy. I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll do it when I do it. And in this crypto environment, everything is late, and your failure to respond promptly enables me to go to someone else who might be smaller than your business, but will respond better than your business. We have to get our lives all the way together and rethink what it means to serve the customer. And that customer is the internal colleague who's stopping you from moving things forward. That customer is the seasoned civil servant who is more invested in their pension than our nation's progress. And when we serve our fellow colleagues well, it translates into how we serve a client like FTX. So there are people who deliver great customer service, but we can do so much better by acknowledging. We can do so much better by minimizing our overrepresentation of what we can do and fail to do because we're not choosing to be as quick with our movement and response.
That was the most diplomatic way of saying, don't let Bahamianese. Yeah, I've never heard it. My God, that was, listen, whenever this is done, my friend, I will owe you a nice cold cup of a glass of whatever. That was by far the most poetic saying, get off your butt, you'll stop being lazy, deliver service on time. And I love the terminology, competently lazy. You could not say it any better.
We have the skills, we know what to do, but we need to move. And it doesn't take away from our cultural beauty of island time and island living, but you're going to miss your next raise. You're going to miss your next contract because you'll get to it tomorrow. By the time as tomorrow comes, I have 3 other needs that your small or medium-sized business could have had, but because you'll get to it when you get to it, you miss the moment, you miss the opportunity. And I think that it is also important as we look at being competently lazy, we should also recognize that all the things that you prayed for to ask God to bless you is not always going to roll up in the billionaire who's driving the Mercedes or the BMW or the Maserati. They are going to stroll in a note. They are going to push by in a Paso, and they're going to want you to serve them well because they're an individual. I see it all the time. People treat you differently when they think that you have money.
Yes.
But many of the people that are coming to our country, dragging slippers, wearing shorts, moving around in t-shirts, and it's just us who has to wear the Yerman, the Gucci, and all of these other kinds of things so that we seem relevant and flossing. But get your whole life together and serve the people well.
Oh my, listen, can I just say hallelujah? That was a word. But you're right, because and this is a part of the, oh my goodness, the need of cultural change, the cultural difference that we must execute if we want to move beyond third world talking and become the first world leading sort of space. And excellence is it, excellence, just be excellent even in your one thing. One thing, be excellent in your one thing. And I think that is what is so powerful. Competently lazy. That's going to be used a lot, Valdez.
I know. We know what we have to do, but we choose not to do it because the PS has to sign off. The DPS has to get a voice. The undersecretary by the oversecretary needs to say something. And at the end of the day, we just need to get it done and put the excuses aside so that we can do and be better.
If you're just tuning in, VP of Communications and Social Responsibility, Corporate Social Responsibility, Valdez K. Russell for FTX Digital Markets here in the Bahamas, a subsidiary company of FTX, is FTX Global, I think it is. Am I right on that? I feel like I'm...
FTX Digital Markets.
Digital Markets, right, okay. Terribly wrong. So now I'm very excited that you're here again, because this is this conversation, and I'm happy that you brought that up, because I think that when we think of business, we're only thinking of the technical side, not of the service side. And that service side frustrates foreigners and foreign business owners, because even in the laid back life, things should get done.
Yes.
You know, business is still business. Let's get things done. And when we look at the company itself, it has been known to get things done. It is in a space, Valdez, where security is always an issue, right? We've had recently in the crypto market sphere some issues of breaches. We know that right now we are in a bearish crypto market, right? That's me trying to say it in this politically. There's blood on the floor, as my crypto click would say.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so it is an interesting time, and for an asset that has its level of volatility. Some have said in many circles, you'll hear those who are major traditional investors would say that, listen, this crypto thing is a phase. This is not, this is now plummeting. Watch it crash. It is not a real thing. It is an idea. When a company like FTX hears this, what are you saying to those who have a fear of that you might not be here that long? Because what if it is a phase?
Right. I think that it is important to know that our commitment in this season is to be here. Our focus is to build here. Our focus is to engage Bahamians and to ensure that our footprint is such that because and as long as we are here and the markets do well and the markets decline, we're going to do our part to navigate this experience. For those who have just started in crypto, this is painful to watch the loss and just see it decline. But we look at other crashes, we look at other significant dips, and then we turn around and we look at how it rose back and what it meant in that environment. So our reality is this is a part of what happens as pieces rise and fall in the most simplistic terms. And we're going to be here as long as we are able to impact and influence change. For those who are nervous about it, we're still nervous about how to act and live right as Jesus prepares to come, but we're still acting and living right in preparation of what is to come. And so there is no risk, there is no reward. And so if you are fearful, if you are uncertain, that is an emotion that is real, that you have to manage well. But for as long as we're able and pieces can be realized, we are invested and we will be here in the Bahamas.
And I love that. Oh, and you brought in Jesus too.
I did. I know.
You're gonna. People love you now. That's it. That's it. You're just loved now. Just don't forget, it's Valdez K. Russell. The brother brought Jesus in, so you know he's beloved. And those are important too, right? That we want to hear that it isn't a fad. Let me tell you, we are a cynical bunch. You know that, Valdez. You know that we are a very cynical bunch. And a part of your portfolio, along with communications, is this corporate social responsibility. Really wanting to show that there is the social aspect of capitalism, if that is the case. So social capitalistic sort of this I would call it neoclassical. Maybe no, not that. Anyways, that there is a heart attached, but yet there's this skepticism. Why is FTX so generous? FTX, since you guys have been here, Al Valdez, just I think yesterday, $500,000 donated to certain charities, Hands for Hunger, our good singing Bishop Lawrence Roll, and a few others. I think Cancer Society. I was about to give a whole different show. Group and so on. You've donated to our to assist with the Dubai Expo. You have donated to my God, I can't even keep up anymore. Plus, there is investment structurally when we talk about a $50 to $60 million infrastructure that you're building for your headquarters. Well, many are skeptical. Why is FTX spending so much money? Yeah, we haven't done anything yet. What is going on there?
Yeah. So Sam, our founder, has a commitment to effective altruism. In short, that means all of the millions and billions that he makes, he intends to give away. He intends to give away. And so one of the good things that I get to do on a regular basis is identify relevant causes and commitments that we can make an impact and contribute towards. This is the Bahamas. And so do I want to sponsor your daughter going to a beauty pageant? No. I recognize that your child needs school fees, but I can't do that. I recognize that there are people who are sick and who are struggling. We can't help everyone, but we can identify partners who can collaborate with us to cause things to happen. So yes, we've given quite a bit. We were just in Grand Bahama earlier today to meet with some organizations that we're going to invest with. And we're going to continue doing that throughout the archipelago, because that is what good corporate social responsibility looks like. And we're going to give to causes that people are familiar with, and we're also going to give to causes that are going to be new, but will elevate organizations in such a way that they can do more and they can make an impact. And so yesterday, when we gave away about $500,000, we said that we're just getting started. And I genuinely and truly believe that. We're just getting started.
You know, if you're just tuning in, Valdez Russell, K. Russell, the VP of Communications and Corporate Social Responsibility for FTX Digital Markets, joining us here as we talk about this major move. And I keep reiterating it. This is groundbreaking. This is something that can really serve as a jump off for the Bahamas in a different market, that different type of market, which is the digital asset market. And what is exciting about it, but this is where we are. And I have to ask this question about this, because of course I have folks who are wanting to know. This is this one question that you could not get away from.
No.
This one question. And I'm going to ask it because I would not be, and I want to make sure I put it here. This is the question. How do we invest in digital currency, particularly in FTX in the Bahamas, without having to go through US stipulations and regulations? And this is a constant theme of Bahamians, such as myself.
Yes.
And shout out to the Crypto Click group that is watching, because we are all excited about FTX being here. But too many channels. And we want to know, has FTX considered these things? And will the Bahamas be put on an approved list at some time soon?
Yeah. So internally, we are of the view that if Bahamians can use Amazon, if Bahamians can use other platforms for making purchases and doing otherwise, they should be able to use our platform in some way to trade, to do otherwise. We started in September of 2021, just last September. And this was one of the first questions that we have been addressing and battling with internally, and also engaged in good conversations with the government. I'm about to sound like a politician, but the good thing is I'm not. And so hopefully I'm a little bit more believable. It is coming. It is coming, so as to afford Bahamians access to the platform, afford Bahamians access to being able to use their resources, their earnings locally. I think that if you would be patient, you will find that we are going to do our part for Bahamians to have access in meaningful ways. I am able to say that it is coming based on conversations that I'm a part of on a regular basis. I am able to say that it is coming because it is also a question that I get all the time, whether it is on a rare occasion that I'm grocery shopping, or a more frequent occasion in which I'm drinking, but I do get the question.
I would love to hear the answer when you're drinking. Let's see how is it as polite and as profound.
No, this is what Bahamians deserve, and I keep saying that lately. We deserve to have access. We deserve to have opportunities, and we are going to cause those things to happen. And I look forward to joining national announcements that will allow for Bahamians to celebrate the moment. But until such time, it is not possible in this landscape. It is not legally possible. Bahamians will always find a way. And so it is not legally possible to use the platform with some of our financial institutions. It is our hope. It is our expectation that it changes. An interesting story, a Bahamian messaged me on LinkedIn and asked, they messaged and somehow they found my number. They messaged, they called, and they texted to ask me how could they get started using the platform as it pertains to trading using their local card. And I responded by saying, it is not, and I will always give the appropriate, correct response. It is not possible to do that at this time unless you have a US bank account. And in true Bahamian fashion, the person wrote back in short, well, that's not what other people told me about using it. Bro, why you message me though?
That's so Bahamian form.
Yes.
You tell them the answer, and they're like, yeah, I didn't hear that, but I'm telling you the answer. I just, why you messaging me, bro?
Yes.
At least he got you, though. I had to get someone else. I need to find out who he is. He's a ninja.
He's someone who's going to have a legitimate question again, and he's going to sit in my inbox.
He'll stay there. I'm with you all the way. All right. Someone asked this question. How do Bahamians with small organizations, foundations partner with FTX? Yeah. How do we get known if you have yourself a youth organization, or for the record, just to plug them. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Phone Bahamas, but just to plug them, you know, who's out there always helping mothers and young women who are not finding places. I'm just throwing out names now since, you know, FTX seems to love us. Yes. You know, Candy Gibson is a good one. Yeah. And that organization. So just throwing out names, no pressure. You ain't got to commit now. That ain't my business.
No. I like it when people throw out names, they become memorable. Like Felicia Carey is talking about teen life skills. Yes. We've gotten some new organizations that are out there. The organizations that have initially been selected or identified have been ones that we have observed, that we have talked about internally, that we have been introduced to, and so we took action on. We recognize that there are tons of organizations doing good, these grassroots causes of individuals doing good, and we're going to get to them. We are in the process of Zoe Gibson Bolag serves as our director of corporate social responsibility. She and I share a lot of time together. And one of the things that she's working on is creating a platform for persons to apply for small grants so that their organizations can have the summer camp, can have their regular tea and coffee, can bring people together and things to that effect. And so we're going to continue to educate persons around how they can access funding. We want to support as many causes as possible. And we remind individuals that it is not a grab bag. It is not a money grab. It is a grab with purpose. It is an opportunity for you to get funding to do good, not that's going to allow you to floss, but that's going to allow Bahamians and residents to be better, to have better skills, to make a difference, and to come out from their experience with you stronger because of FTX's involvement.
Man, listen, I just love this. Valdez Russell, you are my guy. But don't go anywhere. We have a few more minutes, right? We have a few more minutes. Let's go right after the news break. Just give me 10 more minutes afterwards, because I want to discuss with you really quickly the the headquarters, and what that is like. 1,000 employees, 50, 60 million. This, I like anywhere that gives me a hub. And Grand Bahama been trying to do this for a long time. It's the hub of not hubs. So I'm looking forward to hearing. You got it. You got it. All right, we'll take a break. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We will be back after this. We're talking with FTX. We'll be back.
Prostate cancer. My family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and they set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. It's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Good afternoon. I'm Tashina Robinson, and here's a look at some of the stories topping the news at this hour. National Security Minister Wayne Munroe confirming that police were called to the home of 21-year-old Heavenly Trevias days before her death to investigate a complaint that the suspect had caused damage to a vehicle parked in the family's yard. According to Police Commissioner Paul Roll, the man who killed his girlfriend then turned the gun on himself, evaded police in the time leading up to the murder-suicide. Housing and Transport Minister JoBeth Colby Davis says technical advisors recommended the PLP government abandon the Minnis administration's Prospect Ridge housing development for young professionals. Her revelation came as the Davis administration launched its affordable housing program today. And the government promising that stiffer traffic penalties will soon be implemented and enforced. The pledge comes 1 week after a man found guilty of killing two persons in the course of dangerous driving received a $20,000 fine and a revocation of his driver's license for 5 years. That was the maximum sentence under the current law. And with that, we wrap up your Guardian Network news headlines at this hour. I'm Tashina Robinson. Stay tuned. AP News is up next.
Ukraine. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. President Biden tells reporters 8,500 U.S. troops could be heading to Europe, and NATO forces are also getting ready.
We have no intention of putting American forces or NATO forces in Ukraine. But we are, as I said, there are going to be serious economic consequences if he moves.
Russian President Vladimir Putin's government insists there's no plan to attack Ukraine, even with some 100,000 troops near its border. Putin wants guarantees that NATO will never admit Ukraine, and the alliance will curtail other actions, such as stationing troops in Eastern European countries that are now members of NATO. The Coast Guard is looking for 39 people after a boat capsized on its way to Florida from the Bahamas. A Good Samaritan called the Coast Guard after rescuing a man clinging to the boat some 45 miles from Fort Pierce in southeast Florida. The caller said the man told him he was with a group that left Bimini in the Bahamas on Saturday night, but the boat capsized in severe weather. I'm Tim McGuire.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the hit back with Natasha Black. It's the hit back with Natasha Black. It's the hit back with Natasha Black. It's the hit back with Natasha Black.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Very excited about the show that we're having today. I'm feeling all kinds of special because of the guest that I have who gave me the best term. I will continue to use that from hither on. From this point on, competently lazy is now a part of my lexicon. I just love this. This is going to be powerful. I want to welcome to the show VP of FTX Digital Markets of Communications and Corporate Social Responsibility, none other than Mr. Valdez Russell, who has been with us from the top of the show. Busy man just landed and is on the show with us. So I'm very, very, very thankful and grateful. Thank you. So my good friend, now we're cousins. I should say my good cousin now, but we digress. We'll talk about that later, cousin.
My cousin
So-
Daniel might be jealous.
You're probably right. So now let's talk about this. This is again, with FTX being and deciding, hey, this is where we want to be. Choosing the Bahamas on a list of 29 countries, and we made it to the final round, and then voila, they gave us the rose, and that's it. We are now, we won the Bachelorette. So this is where we are in this conversation and in the country. And the discussion now is on the campus. And just saying it is very exciting to me because, of course, there's no digital space, there's no corporate space unless there is a campus, a place where staff can come and engage and feel comfortable. And we have a place where we have think tanks and you begin to think more and produce. And this is the type of space that's where I get excited, just thinking that is what we're talking about for FTX. Tell us a bit more, Valdez, about this campus and deciding to put it in Grand Bahama.
Yes. So as a bit of clarity, but our campus will be here in New Providence. And if I spoke earlier,
I was just testing you. I was testing you. I knew that.
As a Grand Bahamian, nothing would warm my heart more than to have the strength of our presence in Grand Bahama. Prior to that journey, we need an airport, we need hospital facilities, and we need a rejuvenated workforce ready to support us. But let's talk about New Providence.
Just want to say, great segue. Let's talk about where it's going to be.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you're familiar with Pictet Bank and Orange Hill, just on West Bay Street, as you're passing the new roundabout that's there, our campus will overlook the ocean just on that 6-acre space. We look forward to a world-class facility, really, that has already seen contributions from extraordinary Bahamian talent with some global leaders contributing as well. And so our partners at Town Planning are working in concert with us to ensure that we are able to have a hotel space, our after-school care facilities, gymnasiums, outdoor dining, our commercial and retail space, in addition to our office spaces and corporate center. And so this campus will be the heart and soul, will be the vibrancy and the energy around how even more ideas are exchanged, how more people come, contribute, and celebrate the tokenized, the digital asset space of the world. And so already in our current space, which is near Lyford Key, we've hosted a number of dignitaries, a number of thought leaders, a few world leaders have visited our current space. And so we know that our future space is just needing to have so many more elements that will allow for us to be the heart and soul of the cryptocurrency hub that will be the Bahamas.
And hearing this, and this is what is exciting to me, right? Well, first of all, I don't know how, and mind you, I should know better that it was not in Grand Bahama, so forgive me for that error.
But we are doing stuff in Grand Bahama. Let me
Please.
put that in there. We are going to do stuff in Grand Bahama. I spent a bit of time yesterday in some conversations with key leaders in Grand Bahama, identifying space. We look forward to a business hub there. We look forward to a community center there. We look forward to a space that we would collaborate with different institutions. And so Grand Bahama is on my mind. Grand Bahama is on my mind. And so we are going to do some things there that will inspire change in meaningful ways.
So then let's talk about, because you're talking about 1,000 employees. That's exciting in and of itself.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as to the type of employees we're looking at. Some have questioned, well, most of these employees, or what level of skill set will we require? Are most of these employees coming in from abroad? Are we using any form of, well, no, those two would be good enough in terms of questions for that, because we're curious as to, one, what are the types of jobs or opportunities, career opportunities that are there? And will Bahamians have access to those opportunities?
Absolutely. To date, we have nearly 40 Bahamians working with and for us in various aspects of the company. Our chief compliance officer is a remarkably talented woman by the name of Jessica Murray. She has an incredible team of individuals who help us to review and evaluate clients that are from all around the world. And so our compliance team, absolutely completely Bahamian. We have our settlements associates. For those of you in the Crypto Click or in the Bahamas Masterminds group, you know that when you get your coins, you need to see those transferred into your wallet. There's a Bahamian behind that. There are groups of Bahamians behind that, in addition to our Hong Kong colleagues working from the other side of the world. When we think about our security services, when we think about our financial services, when we think about our legal services, we have Bahamians in those realms. And I am elated to say that as we have Bahamians, they are recruiting other Bahamians so that we can collaborate and not compete to make the Bahamas a better environment. At the same time, we anticipate that as we see more of our developers, as we see more of our hackers, we will infuse Bahamian talent on those teams as well. And so we've got a hackathon coming up that will be in tandem with Crypto Bahamas. We've got spaces for Bahamians to come and be immersed and learn. We've got spaces for Bahamians to participate selectively at Crypto Bahamas. And so I would challenge anyone to message me directly if they are questioning the depth and scope and talent of extraordinary Bahamians that we have on our team. And I would say, this is our moment to promote the best and the brightest, and we are doing it in a real way. I look at the people that I bring on into the organization, and I feel confident, absolutely confident, that succession planning is real. Someone can take my place in a minute. Someone can take the place of our compliance leader in a minute, not because we don't like them, but because our depth and scope of Bahamian talent is so good, so strong, that we're doing it differently. We are changing the way that Bahamians are treated and respected in our own country because it's what we deserve.
Oh, man, another amen for my good friend Valdez, K. Russell. There's a great question here. Off the bat, what skills are you seeking from locals to compete for positions? And you mentioned some. please don't just say programming. Which programming languages are you looking for? App development, website development, traders, smart contract programming, experience with Ethereum or Bitcoin platform skills, any particular skill sets and that person
Yeah. So I would say to Shanley, I am going to continue to just say programming so that people of you use the mental fortitude to present yourselves as viable candidates in areas of app development, in areas of trading, in areas of strengthening and building out the blockchain. And so I will use broad terms so as to not restrict it. If as a Bahamian you have talent, we have a responsibility to look at you. And so, Shanley, I would challenge you to understand that programming, to understand that your capacity to contribute should not be limited to one simple skill set, but it should be broad enough for you to walk into the door, sit in the room, and make a contribution. So let's rethink 5 years of experience in HR, because some people have 5 years and no skill or competence. Some people have 5 months and ambition and drive and motivation. So we're going to refresh, rethink, and reimagine how we show up in pursuit of talent so that we get access to the best and brightest. If you're good in one area, you can be trained in another so that your expertise is passed on to the next person and you grow from others in the environment. And so I will say programming confidently so that you rise to the occasion and say, and this is how I can be an asset. Where can you fit me in at FTX?
Man, listen, you are on it today, my boy. They hired the right one. Did they beg? I'm sure they came with they took the Brinks truck and brought it to the house and said, we must get Valdez on the team.
No.
This brother is brilliant. So thank you for that response. Then let's go to which would be the final. The final is a stretch because this is a very good conversation, but I know you have and Shanley said, man, I like him. Best diplomat ever. PM in the making. He's better than a politician. I'll tell you now. But you know, there is that when we look at it now, as you stated so eloquently, the levels of education, so forth, and etc. We are looking at something and another event, which for me sees as a buy-in. I'm beginning to see, and obviously all of the wonderful donations within the community. Many are not accustomed to it. We always feel as if there's a trade-off. So you're giving us something, so we must be taking something back. And you said that's not the case at all. The CEO of FTX Digital Markets wakes up in the morning, Ryan says, how are Bahamians doing today? I like that heart. One day I hope to have you both on the show, by the way.
Yes. I'll let him know.
But there is that next thing too. We now have Crypto Bahamas and a major event that is huge. What is his? I love his last name and I can't remember it. Scaramucci?
Scaramucci, the Mooch.
The Mooch will be leading it with SALT, leading as that company itself has been known to be a part of many massive events and put them on. And Crypto Bahamas will be happening in April. Tell us a bit about that. Why was the decision made? How is it going to boost FTX's plans and at the same time the Bahamas?
Okay, so again, this was one of Ryan's immediate commitments to ensure that the Bahamas could benefit from our presence here. And so immediately we knew that there was a draw by the virtue of the destination. There's nothing more breathtaking and alluring than the gin-colored waters of the Bahamas. There's nothing more captivating than the brilliance of our people welcoming you with a warm smile despite what is happening at home. And you absolutely cannot replicate that anywhere else in the world, on any space. And so the Bahamas then became the clear choice for this kind of a legendary, enormous, impactful experience. And our intention is, of course, to stimulate the economy, one. And two, we're bringing together some of the best minds in cryptocurrency in this space together in a destination that will allow them to connect and disconnect, to rejuvenate and to explore conversations in meaningful ways that will make this technology, that will make experiences better for those of us around the world, that will make it better for the end user. And so Crypto Bahamas is going to be a game changer. Nothing of this nature has ever been done anywhere else in the world. It is by invitation only. If you did not get an invitation, read the writing on the wall. But no, really and truly.
You should see me. I'm thinking to myself just now, Valdez, have the invitations gone out already? So now, I guess
it is by invitation.
Yes.
Only. However, we will create experiences for more Bahamians to be educated, engaged, and informed about crypto. One of the rallying pieces that I hear is how are we going to make this available, and how are we going to educate Bahamians? We've got some sessions that we're going to be launching in February around what are NFTs, what are tokens, what is cryptocurrency, what is blockchain. And so we're going to be knocking on the doors of some Bahamians who do well. We've got some global partners coming in, and we're going to give you a foretaste around how you can get more immersed, how you can learn a bit more about how we show up as educated Bahamians to take advantage of what's to come.
You know, and everything you said just now, Valdez K. Russell, Vice President of FTX Digital Markets, and all of the wonderful titles of communications and corporate social. Yeah, this is a long title right now.
It is.
You know what, though? It's a wonderful title and very much one you've deserved and owned. But I paused because my mind went to, it stopped moving, Valdez, when you said if you haven't gotten an invite, then read the writing on the wall. And I paused and realized that I should read the writing on the wall myself. It is finished. The battle is over.
Or no, no.
There's no more room in the inn. Nahaja is not on the list.
No,
so it is what it is.
Yeah, so we want as many Bahamians to benefit and participate, and we're going to make that available. We realize that a $3,500 ticket is not as immediately accessible for many Bahamians, and we want the knowledge to continue. And so recognize that the conference is a singular event to ignite new ideas amongst movers and shakers in the industry. Once that is done well, and they choose the Bahamas as the regulated jurisdiction for them to be in, that is how Bahamians will win. The jobs, the ideas, the Shauna Lee coming to be able to demonstrate her programming skills, the Nahaja coming in to navigate their communications, the Ianthea Tynes coming in to lead different efforts as it relates to this whole idea around compliance and customer service. So the list of names of extraordinary Bahamians goes on, but we have to bring the right people together with Sam, Scaramucci, and Ryan to see that it is all possible here for us to reap future benefits that will have long-term success in a modern and prosperous Bahamas.
I just love it. And I thank you so much for wrapping that and putting that in a beautiful bow of understanding there, Valdez. Yeah. Because of course, that is what, we are hoping. And in these meetings, these type of events, though first of its kind, really, within the crypto space, there are these meetings behind doors where by invitation only, industries are made, spaces are transformed, and monies change hands and lives are changed. And I gather from what you're saying is that, hey, listen, Crypto Bahamas' main function and purpose is to get these industry leaders in here. Yeah. Let us begin to think. Let us exchange. Then let's build some confidence in this place, the Bahamas.
Yes.
Being the capital.
Yeah. And what we're also doing at Crypto Bahamas is we have identified some Bahamian speakers, some Bahamian keynotes who will be in these spaces. And we know that they will represent us extraordinarily well. And we also know that we still have a responsibility to bring Crypto Click together, to bring Bahamas Masterminds together, to bring all of these other crypto enthusiasts and advocates together in such a way that they feel an integral part of the transformation we all deserve.
Valdez, thank you so much for being an exceptional guest and a wonderful ambassador for your this wonderful company that is here, that I believe as many is exciting and really can herald a different level of commerce and opportunity and vibrancy and excitement if we as citizens understand what we have before us. And so having you on the show was a major play of mine. I could not have FTX here and not have you guys on the show, because then I really am not a good show if I don't get FTX.
No, you're very Thank you for an incredible conversation. As we grow together, as you use your influence to impact lives, let us continue to bring out the best in Bahamians. Let us continue to engage in conversations that inspires the kind of the Bahamas we deserve, because after all, we deserve it.
And one last thing, how do people reach you? How do folks reach FTX headquarters or anywhere? I don't know.
Yep. So I think the best way is you can visit us at ftx.com. You can find us just as a reminder for folks, a lot of conversations around crypto happen more so on Twitter. And so if you're wanting to get involved, follow Sam on Twitter, follow Ryan Salem on Twitter. I occasionally have something moderately bright to say. And so the excitement of crypto happens on Twitter and not on Facebook.
That's right.
And so be sure that you know the difference. So if you want to be in the space, rethink where you're showing up, and let's just get there on Twitter. I am not going to give out my phone number. And so you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on LinkedIn, and you can just, Nahaja has a testimony about how the phone works to get what you want.
A testimony, you best believe it. And I used all of them. I used it. So I'm telling you, you better just use all of the apps. Use them all. Valdez, thank you so much, my friend. Safe travels and take care of yourself.
Thank you, Tony, as well, for your kind comments, and also to Ms. Turnquest, who made some very kind notes. Shanalee, thank you so very much. And to everyone else who's doing something extraordinary, Giron, Morgan, all of you, thank you. These are the Bahamians that Sir Charles Carter spoke about.
What? I mean, you sure you aren't a politician, Valdez? I mean, you are good. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Valdez K. Russell. The brother is good and very articulate, very intentional with his words, able to bring understanding, clarity, and I envision in those boardrooms a lot of Bahamian flair with the gusto that is warranted. We're going to take a quick break. I want to get your thoughts on it as well. But when we come back, I have joining me a wonderful young lady, first time on the show, and I'm excited to have her on. We're going to be talking a bit about education. The school is reopening, and I want her thoughts as well, but he was fantastic. Valdez K. Russell and Bahamian. That's how I know FTX is legitimately okay. They were smart enough to get one of our best and brightest, and he showed up and showed off well. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio. I hope you're excited. FTX is in town. Let us all get excited. And don't be, competently lazy. This is powerful. We'll be back right after this.
Of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
When I got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. It's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Really excited now. This today was a really good show. I'm really looking forward to my next guest. I really am. I want to welcome to the show first time guest. Oh, this is what you do on the Hit Back on a Tuesday. Y'all think Mondays are good days? It's Tuesday now. On a Tuesday, I'm going to be welcoming first-time guests to the show, Mr. Sandra Major, president of the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union. Yes, I said all those words. It was a lot of work, but I'm really excited to have her joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Sandra Major. Ms. Major, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Listen, it's a pleasure to have you on the show with us. First time, and it is my honor and always a privilege to meet wonderful Bahamians from all across the wonderful country of the Bahamas. And you are in, make sure I get this right now, because, I can be slow. It's Tuesday, by the way. So Grand Bahama, that's where you are. Yes.
That's where I am. Yes.
And you are the president of BECAWU. Is there like
Beckawoo.
Because I figured that y'all had to say something.
Beckawoo.
And this is the newest educators or teachers union. Yes.
Yes. I could give you our background.
Please. I would love it.
Thank you. But we were officially registered on October 8th, 2020. And then we started our recruitment drive in April of 2021. Our membership is continually growing. We're 400 and growing stronger every single day. And we started our base on the island of Grand Bahama because the majority of our executive members are in Grand Bahama. But we branch out to all the islands of the Bahamas, and we're continually growing. So
this is what I actually, why I'm excited to have you on, because of course I heard about you guys before I got a chance to, reach out and get to know you, and learning that, hey, this organization has its place at the table in education. It is a separate, it's another teachers union in essence, right? And
yes, it is. Yes, it is. We decided that we wanted something different. Mm-hmm. And we realized that, we're intelligent enough to form our own union and run it for ourselves with a different vision. But the vision is always about education. Teachers first, because this is what we do. Education is important to us. And so the executive team of Beckawoo recognizes that we can't do anything without teachers. Mm-hmm. And our children are the most important to us. So whatever we do, we want to know that our children are well served. And we want to leave a legacy to the next generation, because this is not about us. Our legacy is for the generations that follow us. So whatever we do, we want to leave a lasting impact that somebody else will remember that and build on what we have started, because we are not here to stay.
Sandra Major joining us, president of BECAWU, and I want to make sure I get all of my acronyms right. So don't hurt me on it. Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union. I just love that. I love it. It's just wonderful. Okay, so then let's chat now. Of course, school is reopened, and we are opening schools this time, and of course, it comes with some highs and some lows, with joys and trepidation that we have. And she's been a constant guest on my show, Belinda Wilson, the president of BUT, and there was, of course, the leaked audio of her calling for teachers to say, listen, on the opening of school, this is what I would like for you guys to do. And some teachers have decided that, hey, there's reason sufficient to warrant not showing up to some degree. Yes. And there is some pushback by parents. Yes. And I wanted to get from on the other side, from the other union, because I hadn't heard what your position has been with regard to school reopening. And I'm very curious, what is your thoughts on it, and what is the BECAWU doing?
Okay, well, from the time the new minister has come in, we've had meetings with the minister continually. Now, she's made an effort to reach out to us as partners. We've had meetings, and we understand her position, and everything that we've had, we have collaboration with her. 3 unions, all the unions, the administrators and the teachers unions have been in every meeting. So on the opening of school, in the last meeting that we had before school closed in December, it was that school is opening in on the 11th, and we'll be going virtual. No, we'll be going back face to face if nothing happens. So when the Omicron came along, of course, everything switched. So we came back and we said, okay. She said, okay, now for the next 2 weeks, we're going to watch it. Ministry of Health says we must watch it, and they will give us the okay when to open school. That okay was given on the Wednesday, because we had the 2 weeks closed, and so it was given on the Wednesday. And when she said that to us, our thing was, yes, we're ready to go, because we got the 2 weeks notice. Now, teachers became frustrated, some teachers, because they felt that the notice was not long enough, and they got the information after parents got the information, because parents began calling them. And what happens in the Bahamas is things leak out too quickly anyway. So teachers felt like, okay, no, we should know this first, which is true. The administrators didn't know. However, that does not negate the fact that we can go to school. We do have issues in education. We know that. We don't live in a perfect world. But we said, we have been out of school. We've been out of school for almost 2 years. Why not allow these children? It has been proven. Hybrid doesn't work. Virtual doesn't work. It's not for continual education. Children need face-to-face. So BECAWU took the stance that we will support the minister on this effort because she's willing to partner with us. So we said to our teachers, bring us your concerns, voice them to us. And in voicing their concern was never that they were not willing to go back to school. They voiced their concerns. I presented them to the minister on the Friday, and all of those concerns she addressed. Everything the Ministry of Health has asked for, we've asked the schools to check. And no shop has come back and said that they're not in place. We know that some schools can open. We know that based on whatever the issues are. We say deal with that school at that level. Don't put everybody else in it.
Interesting. If you're just tuning in, Sandra Major, president of BECAWU, the newest formed teachers union in the country. There's only 2 now, and I think this is very interesting, right?
Yes.
So and you said something interesting, Madam Major, where you mentioned deal with the school where it's at, where that school is at. Yes. Explain to me a bit of what you're seeing on the ground in Grand Bahama that would warrant a different or tailoring of protocols.
No, when Grand Bahama, that's what I'm saying. Okay, if you have teachers, we do have issues. The greatest issues we have, to me, HR matters. that the ministry takes too long to deal with. But if you have an issue at a school, if you need to build a relationship with your administration, because if you have an issue with your school, if the school that if your school has mold, for instance, or if the protocols that the Ministry of Health has set in place is not at your school, at the level of the school, bring it to the attention of those persons that need it. You make a stand with your parents. This does not work without the parents. So the parents know that their children are not safe. You, along with the parents, make a stand saying, now, our school, we're not going to open because this is not in place for us. And our children are important and our teachers are important. Make the stand there. Then if it isn't dealt with, we make it national. Because every school has its own unique issues. Teachers have their teachers who are sick. We know that. If you have a legitimate reason, then like in every other institute, you make your request known to the persons that are your employers. And then they're supposed to be able to work with you. We don't just fight because we can fight. We have to learn to work in this country. We don't work with partners enough. We believe that because you sit opposite me, you're automatically my enemy. We would never say to somebody, good job, because they're on the other side. Because we feel like, no, we're giving them power over us. I don't believe in that. I think we speak truth to power. And if someone is doing a good job, you say to that person, job well done. On that issue, job well done.
Do you believe, Mrs. Major, if you're just tuning in, Mrs. Major, President of Beckerwoo, joining us here on the show. In your representation, do you believe that your union has a pulse on the teachers by and large, on some of their feelings by and large, even though, of course, your union is new and it's smaller? Do you feel as if it touches sufficiently across the islands to get a sense of how we are doing, or is it predominantly just Grand Bahamas issues?
Well, at the moment, we have teachers on Grand Bahama. We have a few in Nassau, Abaco, Bimini, Andros, Eleuthera, and we're just moving through. The majority of the issues that I am presenting at this moment, however, those of Grand Bahama, because we are setting our concerns. But what I did was ask persons to find out for me that I have the people in Nassau, for example. We have an executive member, 2 executive members in Nassau, to find out on the ground what is the feel. Even though teachers were supposed to go out, the majority of the teachers came in. Okay, so all schools were able to open successfully. Not all. The ones with the major issues, there were a few that didn't, because they had other issues that they had to deal with. But we heard of no closing of school or disruption of school because people were absent. Whatever the need was, people would fill in to make sure that is done. When we visited, I had my executive members visited with the ministry, the schools on the first day. The day before. We went to schools here on the Friday, and then the others went as well. And they found that teachers were ready, teachers were being prepared, and people were ready to go to school.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, a bit more here with Mrs. Sandra Major, President of Beckerwoo Teachers Union, Allied Workers. Make sure I have this title is the best title for me. I'm just getting used to it, so forgive me. Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union joining us on the show. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
When I had got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black. It's the hit back with the hash of black.
And we're back. We're joined by Madam President Sandra Major, President of Beckawu, the teachers union there, founded in Grand Bahama, but covering the whole entire Bahamas. So see, I'm getting it together. See that? Eh? Getting it together. Thank you so much for the time. And we're talking about the reopening of schools and where your union is with regard to that placement. And I've spoken with some teachers, Ms. Major, and some of their concerns, especially here locally, is that, the schools aren't ready. Are you finding that being the case for you, that your school isn't ready? Do your teachers feel unsafe? We have some teachers who are saying they still feel unsafe, that the lesson plans, the scheduling of lesson plans, these are challenges that is going to add more work to their portfolio, to their timeline. Are you hearing that from with union as well?
As far as this is why the suggestion was made in the last meeting that we had with the minister, I made the point to do this because school was supposed to open on Monday, and I made the suggestion that what we do is allow the principals, administrations to roll the students in because we have a new hybrid model. We have never done hybrid before. Some schools. And then the primary schools, the secondary schools, they went with a 6-day timetable. Never worked that before. Give the administration enough time to roll it in, allow teachers to understand what the process is, because if they don't know, they're going to become frustrated. So if you're going to introduce a hybrid program, allow the persons working it to know what it is. Because what the ministry wanted to do was say to everybody, we all come back at the same time, we're doing the same thing. I said, no, allow people to work it. Because what works in Rumkey may not work in Grand Bahama to open their school. What works in New Providence at one school may not work in New Providence at another school. Because each school has its own unique challenges. But if you involve teachers, if you let teachers feel that they are part of this process, don't cut them out of it. See, because the people at the top can't just step information down to us because I am still a teacher. I am still in the classroom. So I know what it feels like for somebody to send down to you and say, you ought to do this. Well, no, you're not in my room. I have a teacher who came back to school in grade 2. Yesterday, she said to me, Mrs. Major, I'm lost with these two grade children because they don't even remember how to write in a book. So now she said, I'm asking for the letter D. Say, what am I going to do? I said, what you do is you teach math and language because that's all they need at this moment. We have to change. So I'm going to, at the end of this process, get information from teachers of how they feel. What do they see with their children at this moment? Then we need to know that. Don't just allow people to set a curriculum for us. We have to be a part of the process because the children, no, if they don't know it, we need to reteach it. So the people at the top must know that we are part of this. I'm sitting in the classroom. I know my children didn't come to music. I have 30 children. How many came on the virtual school? 8. What happened to the rest of them? But they were in the class before mine. They chose not to come. So what happens now in January? I have to start again. You have sent me a guide. I can't follow your guide. So you have to be able to, education itself must know that you can't just send us down things and push us down our throat because it's not working. You're not in my classroom. I am the manager of my room. That's what they must know. See, we got to work within your perimeters because you set them. But no, allow me to manage my class. Because see, what we do in education sometimes is this. We said, okay, you must be on verbs today. My children are not ready for verbs. Or you tell me I must teach page 3, but we're still on page 1. Or we're on page 7 because my class is smarter than yours. Just saying. But if an administrator walk into my room, they're going to say, well, why aren't you teaching page 7 where you're supposed to be? Because my children were not ready for page 7. And then you want to come and say, at the end of the day, you're going to mark me down because my children were not where you said they should be when you walk into my room. No, I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that. You have to let teachers manage their classrooms because we are the managers of our rooms, not the administrators, not the people in the ministry who send down the orders. It's us, the teacher.
This is powerful. I'm loving this conversation. I really didn't want you to stop, right? Because those are important factors of it, right? And this is happening across the world. I have a friend, she's a teacher in Ontario, and she's sharing the same sentiments that you're sharing, that, hey, listen, we have our kids and they're not where they should be.
No.
Right? They're not where they should be.
No.
And we know this as the teachers, but there's a frustration because there's pressure on you for children to be somewhere else.
Yes.
In the meetings, Mrs. Major, and if you're just tuning in, President Sandra Major, president of Bakawu, the newest teachers union in the country, joining us on the show. There's a lot of talk on the educational crisis that we're in.
Yes.
Give us, if for those of us who aren't, obviously we're not in the classroom, we're not privy to this.
No.
Can you express to us what this emergency is? What does this crisis look like from your vantage point?
From my vantage point, it's not good. What the pandemic did was show all the holes in our education system. There were a group of children we know, and it's always, no matter, not putting anybody down, but the person in the lower income, who, we have a lot of children who weren't coming to school on a regular basis for whatever reason. Now those children were then introduced to virtual. Whatever their reasons are for not being on it, whether it was, power problem, no tablet, people just didn't check. We had a greater number of children that did not sign on it. Or in doing the study, the Ministry of Education is saying 7,000. I'm sure it's more than 7,000. That showed us. So now those children are coming back to school. They were already not at the level that they should be because already they weren't coming to school. They have their deficiencies. To know now that you're in grade 2, just grade 2, for example, grade 1 children haven't been to school properly now for the last 2 years. However, I must say for Grand Bahama, though, in 2021, we did our face-to-face. And we to the Delta variant, we did a very good job at school, keeping school open face-to-face. And the majority of Grand Bahama schools, Mary Patricia and St. George's, did the hybrid model. The rest of the schools on Grand Bahama was face-to-face. The West, where I teach, was very good at that. Well, we find that these children, the Ministry of Education has started a task force to reach the children that were not coming to school. They have included all the stakeholders: the church, the community, the unions, the police, national social services, everybody that they have joined together as a team. They're asking each person for recommendations. Whenever you're building a document, this document isn't based on me, on my one eye. This is not about me. This is bigger than me. So if they're asking for recommendations, you don't have to give them 500 because they're not going to take your 500. They're going to take all of our one idea, put it together as a body, a collective body of people, and present it as a document because all of us have something to offer. They're not wanting one person to dictate the way it goes forward. What we don't do is we always think that we must be the smartest one in the room. And so everybody look at it and say, oh, she's the no. This is a collaboration to reach these children that are lost. It's going to take a lot. And this virtual school, the virtual platform itself is not the issue. The platform works. It is doing what it's designed to do, which is for us to teach from it, to put in your lesson, to upload the lessons. It's designed what it's supposed to do.
Hold on, Ms. Major, you're saying the platform works?
The platform works. Now, what the issue is, the broadband, how do we connect to it? The platform was designed that I can go on it and teach. There's the LMS, there's a part of it that's connected. And I was informed by Ms. Samantha Wilson, that This platform is good that you can transfer a child from one school to the other without any interruption. The grades will flow. She said, yeah, there's Google Classroom, but Google Classroom does not offer that. There's nothing wrong with the platform. If you get another platform, we still have to learn it. See, it's a matter of us. So if you bring something different, don't forget, as educators, we still have, some of us, my daughter is a teacher. My daughter's better on this thing than I am. I've been here for 41 years. So my technical skills are far less than hers. But she had to learn the system. I have to learn the system. I'm slower than she is. There are teachers who may be slower than I am. But we have to go because this is where technology is taking us. But virtual is not what we want continually. That's not what it's a gap, because the child in Rumkey can now have music because they have no music in Rumkey. The child in Eleuthera can have Spanish because they have no Spanish in Eleuthera. The child in Bimini can have a music, or they can have science. That's where it is. And if something happens and you say there's no school today, it's going to be too rainy, we can all now connect to the system, put in our work and say, children, this is your work for the day. This is what you must do. That's where we are. But to reach these children, we have to do this as partners. It does not take, the union cannot do this on their own. The government cannot do it on their own. We need parents. Parents must be committed. Their children must come to school now with a face mask to make sure. But see, and the minister has allowed, she said, don't worry about the uniform. Come. We have to reach you because they have lost too much time. Listen, I feel for people with their children in education. My children came up, I have two. They were in the public system. And then they switched at grade 6 and went to a private school. So I came up through a public system.
Yep, same here.
And so therefore, if my child is in the public system and their education is continually being disrupted, I don't like that. So I'm a teacher. I am an educator at heart. Children are what I'm about. So we can't keep disrupting their education because the children whose parents can afford it will send them away to another country. Who do we have left? The ones we just left in the back 3-5 years ago are the ones who are going to come back and rob us later if we don't pay attention to what their needs are. We know that teachers, we are the doctors and their lawyers, and we know that. And we teachers go far and beyond. The government has never paid us enough. We take our money, every single summer, we go to the shop, we buy everything we need to our class. Primary school teachers are the bomb at setting up their classroom. Their classrooms look like, wow. Most of that is their money. Why do they do it? Because that's who they are. Because that's who they are. And when they want their little bright-eyed and bushy-tailed children to join that classroom at 5, it's because teachers are who they are. And they get all the credit. So we want our children, the children of the Bahamas, the next generation, to have what they need, or else we're going to lose a generation. It's as simple as that. We have to, whatever method we take, I don't know all the answers. I'm not pretending to know all the answers. What I'm saying is join together as one body of people. If it works, use it. If you find something that works, share the information with others and use it. Because what works over there may not work over here, but use it. And stop being selfish as a people. As the Bahamians, we cannot be selfish. It's our children that we're going to lose. I'm sorry about my passion, but that's what I am.
No. Listen, you're the second guest of the day with all this passion. I love it. It makes my show easier. Plus, it conveys a message, right? It conveys a particular message and heart that you want to share with the audience today. If you're just tuning in, Sandra Major, president of the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union, the newest teachers union here in country. I'm still stunned that you said that one-on-one works, and so now
yes.
I've not gotten one teacher yet, and maybe that's because we're Nassau centric. My Nassau teachers have not given me any great glowing reports on one-on-one. But I love that some find that it works. Before we go, as far as your union goes, your teachers union goes, your position is, hey, we are to school. There's no call for, stepping out. If there is an issue, let us deal with the issue at the point of the issue. The position of BE, Becca Wu. What is the position?
Our position is, that's correct. Our position is the Minister of Education is partnering with us. They've invited us to the table. We're bringing our concerns to them. And if there's an issue, we're going to take it there first. We're going to address the issue at the table. If the issues are not ironed out, then we go from there. But we prefer to bring the issues because there is a partnership being formed. And if someone is offering you a partnership, there's no need to fight unless you have to. And so if our concerns are being met in a timely manner, our HR matters, all of our increments, our allowances, all of teacher issues that will be addressed, then if we're working with us, our intention is to also work with you to make education better.
Thank you, Ms. Major. I thank you so much. First time on the show, hope not the last. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Very good. The speaker there, Mrs. Major, was fantastic. I felt her passion. And this is an interesting one. I like this. I love this. Are you not excited? Are you not entertained by all of this? I really am. Because, of course, now what we're seeing are two different positions and narratives from unions on the reaction to. And I like that what Ms. Major is saying is, hey, there is a partnership. There is something going on. On the other hand, a lot of my teachers locally, and as I know the time is running down, a lot of my teachers here in New Providence are saying, hey, I ain't happy. They got to fix some stuff. And Ms. Major is saying, hey, listen, we're going to try. They're trying with us. We're going to try with them. All I know is there are a lot of parents who want their kids back in school. And let's try and see if we can get this done, because it ain't fair that my kids are in school and they've been in school. They've been doing this hybrid thing for a while. Let's make sure we get it done. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Special thanks to Mr. Valdez Russell over there in FTX. Everyone have a great day. See you tomorrow. We are out.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Officials defending the police and their involvement in the run-up to a murder-suicide. Good evening, I'm Tashina Robinson, and your Guardian Network News at 6 starts now. Thanks for joining us. The man who killed his girlfriend, then turned the gun on himself, evaded police in the days leading up to the murder-suicide. That information coming from Police Commissioner Paul Roll. Jared Higgs tells us more.
He was aware that the police were looking for him, and he continued to evade the police until he was able to get there, and this tragic incident happened.
Roll says officers were looking for the victim's fiance after she called police to make a report of damage to a vehicle. After initially telling Our News that the woman made a report to the Grove Police Station, Roll later clarified that she declined to make an official report. The 24-year-old man, who died in hospital last night, was on bail for shooting at his fiance's sister and another woman in a domestic incident last April.
Police have been looking for the young man, and I've given instruction to have his bail revoked.
The victim, identified by family as 21-year-old Heavenly Trevius, leaves behind a 1-month-old baby. Her killing ignited debate on social media about domestic violence and protecting women